I'm appreciative of everybody who's here today. Let me just start by saying that people wanted to know why I made the decision to get back into this race. Let me make it very clear, as I said this morning, I love my private life. Yes, I do. But I also know that when people call me for issues dealing with illegal dumping, permits, I can go down through a whole list of issues daily for years now. I said to myself, I love my private life, but I also love the citizens of this city, and I also love Baltimore. And I know that we can do better. We're making progress. Many mayors have come up with many plans, and they've done a great job with those plans. But it's also about executing those plans and keeping those efforts moving. There's 3 points I want to make. People don't feel safe in their neighborhoods. Crime is going down a little bit, but they still don't feel safe. Carjackings, juvenile crime, I can go down a list. We were able to reduce crime to its lowest in 30 years by getting illegal guns off the street, by addressing the many issues of crimes that we face, the quality of life issues that impact us. And I know that I can do it again. Maybe not the same way that I did it, but with accountability, with focus, and being able to lead this city. Our schools, City of Baltimore, the state of Maryland, the school system is separate. The mayor appoints a school board, except for 2 members who are elected. We have to have a school board that's accountable to the schools and our children. They are our future. They're going to be the ones to make the difference in the upcoming years when we're all sitting back in our rocking chairs, enjoying life and drinking tea and whatever else you do. Mine is Starbucks, London Fog. But we have to do better by them, and we're not. Baltimore ranks number 4 per pupil in the country. We should have the best schools in the country. We should allow for young people to choose where they want to go to school, if that's the case. We should create more charter schools. But the city of Baltimore, we have to step up and do more. Kids went through COVID, coming back. Grades have fallen. Test scores have fallen. What are we going to do differently? Maybe we need to extend the day. Maybe some young people don't want to hear that. But extending the school day and providing the support services needed for them is so important. Last but not least, city government has to open up. Everybody is not going to be on the computer. Everybody's not going to use an app. We've got to open up and be accountable to the citizens of Baltimore. We've got to have regular trash pickup. We've got to make sure that our water bills, that we know what they are and they're accurate. You know that people are traumatized when they get a high water bill. Think of it, a senior. And then they have to make the choice. How do I buy food? Or how do I pay this bill? We're suing car companies because of the carjackings and car thefts. Well, maybe we should require the car dealers to provide locks for those cars when you purchase whatever kind of car that you want. If it's a Kia, whatever the cars are that are being stolen. But early on, when we saw cars being stolen, 20, 30 for that week or month, we should have got on top of it right away and worked in the region together with our other partners. Those are some of the things that I believe that I can bring to the citizens of Baltimore. I look at city government today and I don't recognize it anymore. I see firsthand that it's letting people down daily. They tell me loud and clear that they don't feel safe, as I said, but I truly believe that all of Baltimore's mayors have been good people and have come into the job with the right intention. As a leader in this city for many years, both government and in the community, I know that improving the lives of the residents requires action, accountability, excellence, It's about bringing together the voices of the city, community, the business community, nonprofit leaders, and creating the rollout strategy that's needed. Let me close by saying this. I put an op-ed in the paper today, and I put it in there because I wanted people to not only know what I'm going through or what I was feeling, but also know that this is a new day and that I've gone through a long struggle to try to prove myself, but not only to prove myself, but to be transparent, to be open, and to be honest to you. And so I take this challenge as a way to say to the citizens in Baltimore that we can do better, we can have more accountability, we can be able to take monies that are given to us from our federal partners and our state partners and get that money out so that we can renovate pools and have all of our pools open and our rec centers open, but that we can also begin to attract people back to the city. We've lost a large percentage of this population. And then work with the region in many aspects of what we need to do. So I stand here today, as I tell you that I'm running, the key things to keep in mind is action, accountability, and excellence of what the people of Baltimore deserve in a mayor. And I know that I can deliver that. So I want to thank you for coming out. I said I was going to be quick because it's hot, and I don't want anybody to fall out. I don't know if there's any questions from the media. I'll take a couple. Then I want these folks to be able to go get some water and go about their agenda. I think the disconnect for why services are not being done is one, yes, I know that the city was shut down and people left jobs, but what do we do in the process to get out and recruit people to come and work in the sanitation department? There's a spinning wheel of department heads where people are in and out of city government. You need some stabilization. You need good, talented people. As it relates to crime, I know it's going down, but we can do a lot better than what we're doing through the collaboration of working with our partners at the state and federal, at the local. I came out and supported Ivan Bates for one reason mainly, and that is because I know that when I had a state's attorney as mayor, those results that you saw was because of a strong relationship with our federal and state partners. So there was a lot of messages in there that I was trying to convey. And again, it's about accountability, it's about vision, it's about stamina, it's about consistency, it's about knowing how to manage and lead. And it's not about just picking certain things and focusing on those, but we have to juggle as a mayor, as a manager. You have to juggle multiple things at one time, and you got to make sure that all of these things are moving as best as possible. And that's why we talk about excellence. I mean, that's important.
Ms. Dixon, Ken Duffy, BL Radio.
Last time around, and in 2016, you had what everyone loves to call the Sheila base, a really strong coalition of Baltimore super voters, older Black people who were thrilled to turn out and vote for you. This time around, especially if it's you and Mayor Scott head to head, we'll of course need a more diverse coalition, as this is all the pundits like to say. So I want to know what this time around you'll do differently in hopes of getting a diverse coalition.
Well, I have a diverse coalition with me now of supporters, and I will go out to all the communities in this city to share with them not only my vision, but the importance of all of us working together. I've always worked, I've been citywide as city council president and then mayor. The recent poll shows that, there are individuals that support I live in a diverse community. So, I mean, it's going to take going out and reaching those individuals that I haven't touched bases with, or new people that have come to the city who don't know me, but have only heard about how well I was as a mayor and a manager.
This morning you talked about your concerns with the Safe Streets program, and you supported the idea of having an investigation into the accounting and the program itself is going to nonprofit administrative program. Can you explain if that investigation is something you would like to see happen at the city level, the state level, the federal level, and why do you think that's necessary?
Well, first of all, we brought Safe Streets to Baltimore, and the purpose of bringing Safe Streets was another tool that we use in order to navigate through the city to eliminate issues and conflict and those individuals who are part of that culture. But today, and I'm not inside, so I can't see, I only hear on the news or read information, but it's certain information that's asked about the budget, not necessarily the employees. I wouldn't give up those names, but the funding and where's it going to, and where's accountability, and how's the reporting done, and how do you connect what they're doing versus what somebody else is doing, and how does the police department? I mean, a prime example is the Brooklyn homes. Safe Street folks were out there earlier that day or even that evening. And so what happened as relates to the information they transferred to their supervisors or the administrators to get to where it needed to go, where the police would have known earlier that it was urgent to get out to Brooklyn Park.
What type of investigation are you looking for?
I mean, our funding comes from the state, comes from the federal government, might be an independent entity that needs to look at that.
Are you willing to commit that Safe Streets can stay in part of Baltimore if elected?
Let me put it this way. There's a whole lot of different programs that need to be analyzed. The one thing that I used as a tool in CityStat that Mayor O'Malley had created, and I used it in order to assess the success or failure, we have to go through that process.
Ms. Dixon,
That's only fair.
what do you say directly to voters? You wrote this op-ed today in the Sun, but you have a past. There's some who cannot get over that past. You've run this is your third attempt now since resigning. What do you say directly to voters who are on the fence about you and your past?
The people that are on the fence to me, I'd like for them to know that what I wrote in the op-ed, in the apology, and being able to forgive and help me to move forward to help the citizens of Baltimore. You know, I think it's important that people know that, you know, a mistake was made. I suffered, I paid, you know, the citizens of Baltimore also, and that I would like for them to have a heart and trust and realize that people change and they learn from their mistakes, and that I've done all of that, and I've done things over the years since then to show my commitment to the city.
So can they trust you again if you take office?
They can trust me. I'm the most transparent person, the most trustworthy person, because when you make mistakes, that's when you go to your God and you have to realize things that you have to do. You do everything to improve upon yourself, and that's a daily job that you have to do, and everybody should do that. All right, one more, because it's hot.
About
In
the
June
Board of Election.
2020,
Baltimore City Board of Election. 2 times they miscounted in 2016. 1,800 voting irregularities in Baltimore City compared to 200 in the 23 other jurisdictions combined. 2020, out of nowhere come 8,000 votes. Do you trust Armstead Jones and the Baltimore City Board of Election?
Donnie, I'm gonna leave that up to you to focus on that. But I don't disagree with some irregularities. But hopefully we will see change in the board.
Mayor, can I ask you the last question?
Well,
The
reporter.
Oh, okay, sorry. In June 2020, you said you weren't going to run again.
I did.
What was going through your mind when you said that, and what's changed now?
Well, first of all, sometimes you should never say never. Secondly, over this last 4 years, as I said, I get calls on a regular basis. I never changed my number. People have either my email or my number, or they message me on Facebook, or they stop me on the street with a problem. I try to advise them to contact the council person or contact the mayor's office. A lot of times people don't get results. A family of 3, a mother at a school down the street, I won't name the school, living in the car, homeless, child couldn't attend school. Somebody called me, said, hey, what can you do? This mother and her 3 children are homeless. I got on the phone, I called the city homeless services. I got a directory of numbers. I was like, what the heck? What did I do? I called somebody I knew in city government in order to figure out a way to help this woman and her 3 children so those kids could go back to school. And that's what I do all the time. Yeah.
You want to keep
Jump,
doing
stay or
20?
stand. It's up to you. They said it's fine. They like being in the show. So, again, I need to really learn more about those. We had initiatives that we did through quasi-city nonprofit, but they need to be assessed. Because if I had the money that they have now, oh my goodness.